All right, let's see, 1 second. All right, let's get started. One of the things that are very important that I would like to share with you all is many people have asked me on some basic foundational things of IT. A big one is network, application, database, operating system, and the cloud solution. So today I would like to just generally tell you guys and ladies on some knowledge and basic information on what each one of these elements means so that we can speak intelligent to it. And for those of us just joining, I'll talk a little bit about foundational IT stuff. Then we can get into the question and answer for GRC. Okay, I'm not forgetting it, but I want to make sure you hanging out with me midweek. We can also make it like a lunch and learn. We learn something together, then we can ask questions too. What is the network? Let's keep this simple, nothing complex here. Network is just connectivity of multiple devices. So most of us today, we use IoT devices, Internet of Things. We use our wearable devices. We use our phones. We use our ring, our fridge, our television. The connectivity of these devices is what we call network, all right? That's why when you come to your friend's house, my house, I come to your house, the first thing I would ask is, please, can you give me your password to your network, right? That's a common thing that we see today. So that is very vital and important, okay? Now, these are some sample types of network out there. A common one we must have seen, we would have heard of local area network, wide area network, metropolitan area network, computer area network, home area network. There are two we typically focus on. Welcome, welcome on board. Welcome, 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 everybody. I can see David, Susan, Moses, Michael, Mabel, Judy, Daniel, Adebola, thank you all for hanging out with me. It's going to be a short one. It's just I try to make sure daily we give some snippet of knowledge, then we get to our question and answer. If you have questions, there's a place icon you can see below. Just type chat, and you can raise your hands also, and I would answer your question. So what we're talking about is we talked about networking as connectivity of multiple devices. This could be your phone, your wearable devices, your laptop, your desktop, your children's iPad, all of this connect to the network, right? There are two big ones out there. The first one is local area network. The second one is wide area network. These are pretty sizable network out there. One wide area network is going to be the ones you use mostly at work. But recently, I'll go to another topic real quick. You will see what the network look like. You can see here. It's showing a diagram of internet. Then look at the city connecting with your ISP. ISP means internet service provider. So the likes of your typical, you will see the likes of Verizon and other service provider within different cities would connect you to the internet, okay? The other thing you see is something called SD-WAN, software developed wide area network. The SD-WANs are typically much more easily controlled. They are better security. They are actually software that help you to segment your network. Segmentation means break it down to smaller pieces. When you come to, if I come to your house, I'll notice the house is not just open. You have rooms in smaller pieces. You have your um, main living room. You have your kitchen, pantry. It's broken into smaller sizes. That is what we call segmentation. Okay, that's all it means in simple terms. Application. Most of us would have heard of the word application. The nice thing about application, if you're on this call right now, you're using an application called Zoom. All right. So we all use application whether we know it or not. It's just typically a software built, designed for specific task. That's all application is. Okay. Don't overthink it. Straight to the point. And these are some examples for CRM, for human resources, communication, asset management, a lot of things around applications. Okay. Very, very straight to the point. Enterprise application means application we use in businesses. A common one you guys will see would be Team. Team is like using Zoom. You can use it to keep data. You can use it to chat and communicate like we are doing right now also. Database, let's keep it simple. A database is the storage of information. We collect data and we are storing those data. That's what a database is, as simple as that. All right. Some top database out there are these ones. You see Oracle database, SQL, MS SQL, SQL database. Those are the popular ones out there. Operating system, what is operating system? It's really a program that helps us to manage the computer resource. It assigns into how the memory works, how the file storage works, how input and output works, how it connects to your network out there. That's really what the operating system does. So a lot of us right now you're using Windows or you're using Mac iOS operating system, or you're probably using for enterprise Unix system also. Those are typical operating system. So it means if I'm thinking of cybersecurity, every one of us, remember, you're going to think and say, how can they penetrate my environment through application, through database, and through operating system? Can we type it together, everybody? Let's just have fun with that. Just type risk within, just say application, database, and operating system. If you say this, honestly, people will understand, you understand what it's going on. Just type, if you just ask that question and say, risk within application, database, and operating system. Those are the places people can penetrate the environment. You can sneak in one more, network. Can we type it together, everybody? Just type risk in your network, application, database, and operating system. Because really, if you say that to anybody, they would know you do understand the main risk. And I can tell you, most time that's where your risk is. The risk is always network, application, database, and operating system. If you live there with those four, that comment alone, honestly, you probably learned something this afternoon. That ask, is there a risk to our network? Can we also type it together? Is there a risk to our network? Now, network is the first one you talk about because that's broader. But your mind also say, is there a risk to the application? Let's think about it together. Let's keep it simple. So let's say somebody is trying to steal your money in a bank. They have to think about, can they get access to your network first? Meaning Wi-Fi access. If they have access to your network, that's first step for them. The next thing they head is, can we have access to their application? Your application is probably you're using your bank application, right? If the application is secured, it does multi-factor authentication, that would help you a little bit. Then they are thinking, okay, let me see if I can get access to the application. Can I get access to the database that stores all the customers' information? Then can we get access to operating system that makes it even run in the first place? That's where the attackers are thinking from a risk point of view. Let's take it again. Look at what they are thinking. Number one, they are thinking of network, application, database, and operating system. That's what the bad actors are thinking of. That's the way they can penetrate your environment most of the time. All right, cool. Okay, let's see. These are top enterprise applications that are out there. And let us stop for today. Tomorrow, I'll talk about cloud types so that we can have an idea of cloud technology also. But let me stop sharing and I can open the floor for questions and answer. So now feel free, ask me question about GRC. I know most of you came here to speak with me about the GRC coming. If you have a question, please just raise your hand and I'll answer those questions. But before we get into that, I'll give you some general basic foundation of what this program is about. Let me share my screen real quick, and that would be a little bit helpful to give you an idea of what the program is all about. You know, a lot of people have registered already, which is great. Thank you for everybody that has registered. It's a lot of fun stuff. It's just amazing. It's surreal. A lot of people are really um, giving it all. So that's great, great stuff. But let me share my screen so that we can just talk a little bit about what the class is about for those of you that were not in this program before. So for us, I'll get into the key part of it. I won't go into this. But you will learn in this class basic knowledge of governance, risk, and compliance. Everything you see here will be covered in the program. Let me get into the actual, this is the topic we'll cover in the program. So this program would highlight introduction to cybersecurity. It will get into information around developing policies and procedure, mapping of different leading framework like NIST 853, ISO 27001, risk management framework, third-party risk management, data security assessment, overview of regulations like EPA, GDPR, PCI, fundamentals, IT general control, some general leadership tips. This is what is going to be covered in the program. It's going to be for 7 weekends, quite intense. Every day, my expectation is at least give me 1 hour of your time. So the 1 hour is going to be what I expect us to be successful. So I'll go to frequently asked questions so that I can run through that because some of this might be what you want to ask me. Is programming required in this program? The answer is no. There's no programming required. You might choose a path to get into programming, that's fine, but no programming is required for this program. Do I need to be a US citizen to get into this? The answer is no. Most of the time, most private organizations would be happy to bring you on board without um, being a resident citizen. Residence is required or work authorization for sure. Do I need to have IT background? The answer is many times having IT background is good, but the key thing is willingness to learn basic of IT, which is what I intend to also train and teach. So I would have run through some basics of IT so that you're more comfortable in that language at the minimum. And anybody on this call today, I bet to challenge you and tell you, we all already have basic knowledge of IT. If not, you will not be using Zoom. You will not be using your mobile application to do your bank processing because those are the basic of IT, to be honest with you. Those are the key things. Do we help with resume? Yes, we help you to get draft of resume. Of course, we will go through the resume also, but the draft is provided to you. Then we expect you to finalize it. Do you need to commit a lot of time? Like anything great, we expect you to put in the time, the work to be successful. This is not a class to just hands up. We want you to be involved in it. I'll challenge you a lot, and I'm pretty good at mentoring. I'll challenge you a lot. I will expect you to put your best in it because this is a career that can potentially change everything for you, to be honest. The opportunity is massive and you can leverage it big time without stress. What kind of computer do I need? Basic Windows computer, Windows, Mac, any one of them is fine. What job sites do I use to apply? Most of us use Indeed.com, Dice. Use as many job sites out there as possible. There are many of them out there. Please feel free to use them. Do I need experience to begin my career? For GRC field, honestly, get the knowledge. That's all you need. We would always say, you had the experience based on your previous role, but most importantly, know how to deliver and do the hands-on. If you can do that, most of the time, we should be in a very, very good position to be successful. What is the cost for the program? It's 750, and our vision is simple. We want to get a lot of applicants in this space. In SANS.org, a similar program, they charge 3,000 plus. I'm sure that people charge 1,500, 2,500, or whatever the number is. Because our vision is very clear. We want to get a lot of our folks in this field so that we can be successful together as Africans and minorities typically. Does this role require meeting? So I'll tell you, yes. Many times you will be expected to participate in meetings with people, but I'm challenging everyone here. We are all leaders already. It's the same people you meet in your church gathering, Walmart, stores. You shunt them on the road and you probably cuss each other out. It's the same people you meet. So it's not a big deal at all. We meet the same people. And so I expect us not to shrink, step up, speak up. The key is just prepare before a meeting. And those are the tricks we teach each other to be more successful in the long haul. Is certification required? The nice thing about this program, if you participate in the program right now, automatically you're enrolled in our GRCP certification class. That class, we have pass rate of 90%. So the good thing is that you would immediately be enrolled in that class so that you can write the certification in 5-6 weeks. Before the program ends, I think most of you would have done the certification, and have fun doing it too. So yes, we would help with professional certification. Do I stand a chance to pass the JRCB certification? Yes, because we'll give you past questions, we'll prepare you with a class just for that. And this is what the certification website looks like. All right, those are the typical question and answer I've seen people ask. Now over to you all. If you want to ask a question, kindly just click on the icon that says raise your hands, and or you can type the question. I'm ready. Let's go. Questions? Questions? Thank you. All right, let me unmute you. Adebola. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Hello, Akin. Thank you so much. Okay, so the things I took away from this meeting, in the frequently asked questions, you asked the question about, do you have to be a US citizen? Because I'm currently in Canada, Calgary. I mean, does it have anything to do with being able to practice?
Okay, good point. Thank you. So the answer is no.
Can I put my questions together? Or, I have about 3.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay, so the second question is, you mentioned something about fundamentals in IT. I have close to 15 years banking experience in Nigeria. Just concluded my MBA here in Canada. And yeah, I attended the meeting. I think we had a WhatsApp conversation. The way you broke it down really got me interested, and I believe I can build a career here. So I still have that concern about not having an IT background. And you said something about the fundamentals IT training. Is this what, is this part of it, or am I expecting another basic training in IT?
So absolutely, this is not our class at all.
Okay.
So for the program, there is a curriculum for fundamentals of IT, strictly for that. So some of this will be part of the slides, but it's a separate thing. This is for people that are registered. I have a program designed for the fundamentals of IT. So you should be fine with that. It will cover some much more deeper things than this.
Okay, so I'm expected to have that kind of class before we start the major GRC, right?
As part of, exactly. So that's why the first week is dedicated to that.
Okay. Am I automatically registered in? I mean, when because I'd like to really start this from that, so that I'm not lost when the program itself starts.
Don't worry, you're in good space. Don't worry, you're good. Trust me.
All right.
Don't worry, we designed it with that in mind. Our first class is the fundamentals of IT, GRC. The second bleeding would be more on building and developing policies and procedure, right? So then we now start easing you in. So don't worry, it's not like your core technical thing you need to. And when I say you should learn IT, it's not like the things that will make you learn a bit different would be like understanding what a network is, understanding pattern of attacks, the types of cyber threats, right? I'm getting into some much more detailed nuances, but don't worry, don't sweat it, you'll be fine.
Okay, if you say so.
Because don't forget also, you can, in any field, you can be as technical as you want to, right? So
right.
So yours is, because your role is really leadership, you're doing assessment. I want you to be so knowledgeable that you can ask them right questions. And when they talk, The terminology would not be strange to you because we've talked about
Mm.
it in class. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it
Because
does.
I'm not here to teach you how to be Splunk expert, SIM expert, SOC analyst. Those are technical areas, right? That's not what you're here for. But when they are speaking, I want my team to be smart enough to know, oh, you know what they're talking about. That's it. Because don't forget again, a lot of these are tools. I'm not here to teach you to be a tool expert. There are so many tools for every area in cybersecurity. Too many tools. All right. So you would choose which tool you want to use as a company. Yours is to give them clarity, vision on what are the best practices and things they should do. Then they can decide on tool, whatever they want to do at that point. All right.
Okay. Okay.
All right. All right. Let's see. We have another question. Mr. iPhone, Mrs.
Sorry,
iPhone.
sorry, Akin, you forgot to answer the first question.
Sorry, what's the first question?
About do you have to be a US citizen or something like that to
So,
practice healthcare
no,
analysis?
no. So, if you, of course, for government work, yes. If it's not government, if it's private, no. The same thing for Canadian. I'm sure for in Canada, if you are working for the Department of Defense, then you would have to be a citizen of Canada. But if it's
Yeah,
for
sure.
private or Fortune 1000 companies, which is a lot everywhere in North America, you don't have to be a citizen. You just have to be a resident that can work. That's all.
All right. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, iPhone. I just unmuted you. I think you raised your hand. I unmuted you. Go ahead and speak. I just click ask to unmute. Or you can type a question. I try to unmute you. I don't know. I click on mute already. Can you try to unmute yourself, iPhone? All right. Okay. iPhone, unmute yourself. Or type your question. I try to unmute you. It's not going through. Okay. Anyone else with question, please feel free to. If you have no question, can you give me a thumbs up? So I'm assuming you all have questions because I've not seen someone. If you have no question, give me a thumbs up. All right. No question. Judy has no question. Lloyd have no question. All right. What about Moses, David, Michael, Temitope, Tolu? If your hands are not up, then you probably have a question. Okay. All right. So the class starts August 13th, next Saturday. And guys, I challenge you. Okay, somebody has a question. Can you kindly give me a brief insight into that aspect of cyber? I like that. Okay, good, 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 good. All right, let's talk about that. Somebody said, okay, good. They said, can I give them a quick insight into that aspect of cybersecurity? Yes, surely I can do that. Let me quickly, I'll show you something that has that breakdown so we can talk about it real quick. That's a good question. Okay. So the reason it's so important sometimes is, okay, these are the other security roles in cybersecurity. Cyber is wide, it's a monster. Don't forget that, ladies and gentlemen. It's like saying you're doing IT. The question is, which part of IT are you doing? You can see here, GRC, analyst, auditor, what we are going to be doing is here. But guess what? We have application security. These guys are targeting all our application, making sure it's secure. We have data loss prevention. If people are pulling data, they are making sure that those data cannot be used for malicious act. Forensic, if there's a breach, people that will investigate. Incident response, they would decide on how response is done within your organization and how monitoring of the different logs are done. Network security is monitoring all the network within your environment. Security architecture, they are mapping out the overall architecture of your business and making changes as needed. Threat intelligence, they are constantly monitoring all of the volume of ingress, egress, meaning documents flowing into your environment and what is flowing externally outside to another your vendor. Vulnerability management, all of the vulnerability identified within your business, they match it with some of the government CVSS vulnerability score to determine if it's critical, low, medium, and or high within your environment. So the point is, cyber is such a wide field. It is massive. So because of that, it is very important to just begin somewhere. A lot of people ask me and say, well, I'm confused. Which area of cybersecurity should I go to? My answer typically is just start somewhere. Because really, until you start somewhere, the nice thing is this is one of the soft area to start because you can easily, quickly just sneak in and start immediately building, pulling knowledge together. Very important. And one more thing, I know we have a few minutes before we go. I sent a link to our video so that we can, our YouTube page. If you guys don't mind, please kindly just click on it, and we can like the video so you can get more content from us as we record and build. Somebody asked, which of the area is the most paid? I love that. I love what you're thinking. To be honest with you, let me tell you this. I can tell you this for a fact. Somebody, a student I mentored, the person is experienced, okay? So last week was offered 195,000. Now, I'm not saying everybody will be like that. Don't quote me, okay? The person has put in the work. They have experience now, so they can demand that kind of salary. For our own training, based on the initial training, my expectation is let's start within 85,000 to 125,000. That's what I expect. Just let's start within that baseline. Be within there, then you can build over time. And as you get more experience, exposure, you can be more successful after that. Any other question? Feel free if you have questions. I'll type my number real quick. Text me on WhatsApp. I can easily ping you. I can ping you one-on-one. The class starts on Saturday 13th. We're all excited about it, really. A lot of people have registered already. Get registered and let's build this together. I think we stand a great chance. We put the work together and we should be successful together. Any other question before we wrap up? And one thing we do is stick to time here. We try not to, if we say 30 minutes, 20 minutes, we try to stick with those time, except it's a lot of questions and we agree. All right. All right. Thank you so much. Godspeed. And we'll talk soon. Thank you so much. And I'll do the same thing all through the week, 30 minutes every day to try to just, put one topic to learn one or two things, have fun during lunch. And we'll talk. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.